for a while.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So,
Your
yeah,
first name is Chris?
yeah, Chris.
All right, Chris. Nice to meet you.
Likewise, likewise. I'm a fan, a fan of your hustle. So, um, uh, watched a couple of videos on YouTube, what you have put up. So I'm like, okay, I mean, from the way you trade, at least when you break it down, something that I'm very, very familiar with, something that I kind of do for the most part.
Okay.
But what I'm struggling, well, all right, straightforward. What I'm struggling with, man, my biggest thing is holding trades. I just suck at holding trades. I don't know why, but I just suck at them shit. So I know it's a psychological thing and not technical, but usually when I'm trading my GJ and GU or US 30 pairs, on a good day, I might hold to like 20 pips or so. You know what I'm saying? And if I get spooked, whatever, anything before that, I might pull out. So because I know that you're a scalper and I seen that you was like stacking your trades, I'm like, okay, maybe she may have something to like help me like take more advantage of my winning trades. You get what I'm saying? If that makes any kind of sense.
Okay.
So
You're a scalper as well?
If you want to consider that, because usually I don't really hold past 20 pips, 25 pips, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And then if I hold until 30, it's because price is just going my way and I'm just going with I'm just using my trailing stop loss. But
What is your goal every day when you're trading? Do you have a pip goal? Do you have a profit goal?
I have they kind of go hand in hand, but I wouldn't say pip goal. But usually like I try to keep my pips, my stop loss no more till about 15 on GJ and GU.
Okay.
So because I use a 1 or 2 risk reward ratio, I like to aim for 30. But shit, most of the half of the time I'm not even getting to 30. I might get to like 15 to 20. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So my 1 to 2 risk reward ratio, I usually risk about 1%. On my personal account, I might risk about 2%. And yeah, so if I can earn anywhere from like 1 or 2% a day, I'm happy with that. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not even that greedy. I'm just want to just trying to get them steady gains. And then some days, like anybody else, I have some good days and bad days. But when I do have good days, I'm like, okay, how can I really make this shit like you know what I'm saying? Like outweigh, because I did FTMO and I'm on the repeat. I took a little break, but I'm like, according, I'm analyzing my chart and I'm like, it's not like I'm over trading or anything like that. It's just that my wins are super, like I'm just cutting my wins. You get what I'm saying?
Are you holding your losses though?
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm not even. If just hit my stop loss, I let them go and then that's it. I mean, I'm not trading for no more than about maybe 1 or 2 trades a day if I see another setup. So I'm pretty good with that. I just suck at holding my trades. So I'm like, okay, maybe there's another way you may, you know what I'm saying, that you may have of where, because I've seen that sometimes you may have like a stop loss like maybe 8 to 10. I'm like, shit, if I could get something like that, because if I'm getting my 20 anyway, if I could find a nice little way to, you know what I'm saying?
You want to catch the same move, but you want to maximize the move. Basically.
Exactly. Maximize.
Either that or you want to hold the move longer.
I wish I could, but like I mean, I know there's nothing you could tell me to really help me psychologically to hold the move. It's just something I just gotta go through my own. I'm still like battling that. But if there was anything that you do in terms of your strategy to like say, hey, okay, this is what we can do to make these 20 pip, 25 pip moves.
Okay.
Or even 15 pip moves, like, okay, making some bangers, you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I'll tell you like this. On the days I've had big days, it wasn't me catching the whole move, it was my runners. Okay.
Okay.
On the days that I've had big days in the markets, I've had my biggest day to date was 27K. I wasn't looking for that. That was the runner that kept going. that got me the rest of that money. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, I use bigger lots. I stack a lot of orders at times. It all depends on the setup. that you see and the level of risk you're willing to take on your account.
Right, right.
So understand that when people see me taking, 4, 5, 6, I think the most I've taken on an order or on a trade, the most orders I've taken on a trade was, I think, 12 or 13 orders.
God damn.
And that was but I wasn't I was scaling in basically. That wasn't a scalp. That was more of like a intraday trade.
Okay.
It wasn't a scalp though. I was just scaling in and seeing how much I can grab out of that move based off, the setup that I saw. So scaling in and stacking to me are two different things. They're two different things, okay? Because when you're scaling into a move, you're looking to catch a bigger move, but you're looking to kind of jump in every higher high or higher low, whatever, right. Try to grab that next move up to the upside, and you have enough equity, right? You have enough floating profit to carry, the level of drawdown that those other orders might take on.
Got you.
I don't really trade like that. I trade as in, let's say I'm jumping into a trade, right here, for instance, I'm taking sells, from here, right? Gotcha. If I'm taking sells here, more than likely, right? Let me zoom in a little bit here. Now, this is the 4 hour. Obviously, I'm not entering on 4 hour, but it's just for example purpose, right? Let's say I'm looking to take a trade right around here, right? I see this high being created here, right? This level here was broken. Price came up to test, and now it's coming down. This high did not break this high, so clearly we're coming down for sells.
Right.
But let's say I'm looking for my sell. Let's say I got in here, right? Let's say I got in on this candle, right? Right. I always enter at the break of lows, right? Because I trade price action. So I always enter at the break of lows. Let's say I saw this candle close bearish and this candle start breaking down. Now I did make a top wick, right? Right. So if I have my level here and I say I'm looking for entry right around here, what if price came down first? What if price came down first and then started pushing up? That means now I'm in drawdown. Right. The trade is now going against me, right? So what I would do is if I'm looking to scale into this, and that depends on my level of confidence in the setup and my level of risk. So I know my stop loss needs to be somewhere above these highs here, right? Gotcha. This candle comes up and let's say it knocks me out, whatever the case may be, right? I'm still looking to capitalize on a move because I see a setup forming here, right? So I gotta ask myself, Charlene, I want to get that L back that I just got if I got knocked out, and I want to capitalize on the rest of the move. So how do I end the day in profit? So basically what I do is I look for the same setup. I never enter a trade off different confirmations. I look for the exact same confirmations that gave me the first idea to jump in. Just because I jump in and the trade happens to knock me out doesn't mean I was wrong. It just means the trade wasn't ready to push. It wasn't ready to move in my direction yet, right? So let's talk about stacking orders. So what I would do is I would say to myself, okay, I'm looking for price to go to the downside. I need sells to come to the downside. I need a certain level of period not to be broken. The second that this candle rejects and it starts pushing to the downside, that gives me more confirmation that price is coming down. Because if this if this candle comes up here and it starts forming bullish, it starts forming blue, obviously my sell bias is incorrect. It's not ready to push down yet. But once this candle pushes up, it tried to push up, right? And then came back down. Close below this low. And then I have, my nice clean move to the downside here. So if I'm looking to stack orders here, guess what I'm doing? As soon as this candle starts to come back down and starts to break the area that the previous candle made, that's when I'm lotting up. That's when I'm lotting up. But before I do that, now I really got to have my stops in order. I got to know where I'm going to put my stops and how much I'm willing to lose. Stacking orders, Chris, is all about risk reward. So if I say I'm stacking, I want to stack 2 orders or 3 orders today, and I know I'm looking to catch 10 or 15 pips on this move. Really, I'm really catching 20 or 30 pips, right? Because I have 2 orders running. Right. That's how you got to look at it. You're catching a lot more pips just with more orders. Okay. So I say to myself, how much risk am I willing to take if price comes back up here? If I know I'm just say I'm using 10 lots, right? That's my favorite lot to use is 10s. Okay. I just recently started using 20s, but let's say 10s, 10 lots. I got to say to myself, okay, a 10 lot is $100 a pip. If my stop loss is, let's say, I don't know, 5 pips, let's say 5 pips, that's $500. Okay. So if I say I want to take 3 orders and I want to catch 10 pips on each of those, that's 30 pips that I'm catching. My stop loss is 5 pips, but really it's 15 because I have 3 orders open. So on 15, for a 15 stop loss, that is $1,500. So you got to say to yourself, well, how much am I willing to risk? How much am I willing to lose to make on this trade? I can risk 1,500, but I'll make 1, 2, 3, possibly 6,000 on the trade. So you're risking 1,500 to potentially make 6,000 on the trade. I would take that trade any day of the week, any day of the week. So how do you stack? How do you gauge, hey, where do I get in? How do I set up my orders? The second you see rejection areas start forming in specific areas, especially based off your high time frames. And you start seeing long wicks like this forming at specific areas where price has already created a certain level of resistance.
Let's get more confidence.
It gives you more confidence. It gives you more confidence, number one. Number two, it's very, very risky because you're calling tops and bottoms. You're calling tops, you're calling bottoms. So you're going to ask yourself, okay, what can I do up here? Well, again, risk versus reward. That's all it is. Risk versus reward. Stacking is nothing but that. And I'll tell you why. Okay? Because if I come up here, let's say we forget about this setup here. Let's come up here, right? I already have a support that was formed here. I have a bearish engulfing that engulfed this candle. Price is pushing to the downside. Overall, we have a big downtrend pushing down here, right? So price finally made it back up here, making higher highs and higher lows. Huge bullish engulfing, took out all these highs, and now it's rejecting at the same area it rejected before. I already have one confirmation that price rejected once before. And if we look here, we'll see price pushed up strong here, but now it's starting to range. It's starting to range and rejecting at the same area. Price tried to break up on this wick right here and then rejected to the downside. Look at the size of the bodies of the bullish candles. Very, very small compared to the wicks, right? Super small. They like dojis for examples, right? They like dojis. So you got to ask yourself, hey, price keeps on rejecting. Now it could break to the downside. But the second you saw this candle come down like this and engulf all these candles and take out this support that was once acting as what? Resistance over here. There's your confirmation. There's your confirmation. So you let this candle come down and you let it close. Now you have strong confirmation that price is bearish. Now, what are you anticipating to happen? I may be anticipating some sort of retest, some sort of retracement. Always let you, when you're looking for sells, always let the next candle form a top wick. Always. And guess what? That top wick, once it rejects and starts pushing bearish, there's your confirmation for you to start dropping orders. Start dropping orders. Okay. And where's your stop loss going to be once you start dropping orders? Right above that wick. Either that wick or above the previous candle's wick, but that all depends on how much risk you want to take on your account.
Gotcha.
You get me? So if you say to yourself, well, once this candle starts rejecting and breaking down below and coming down here, I can just start stacking 1 order, 2 order, right? Let's say this candle, let's say you entered on this candle right here. I'm sorry, on this break right here, this candle break right here. Price starts pushing up. It starts wicking up and you're in drawdown, right? So you got to correct that move. Once you start seeing prices pushing up and it starts rejecting and coming down, again, I'm dropping orders. It's risky. It is risky, right? But the second this candle starts to reject and come down, what are you instantly in?
Profit.
Profit. You're instantly in profit. And not only that, but these orders, the risk on them is very low because you're entering damn near at the top of a wick. So if price does try to start pushing back up and go back bullish, then you know, hey, I got to cut these orders. I probably got to cut them because price is probably pushing up. But if it doesn't, and you already have, you got to look at all your confirmations. Your confirmations are going to tell you when to lot up and when to sit back. So let's look at our confirmations. Okay, we have price that pushed up. It made a high. It broke these highs here. It started ranging at this strong level of resistance up here. Price has started pushing up, pushing down, pushing up, pushing down. If you look closely here, you'll see that price made a high, and this high wasn't able to break this high. So now we have a confirmation that price made a high. Next high couldn't break the previous high. So now we have a higher low that's forming here, a higher low. Once, and then that's the second confirmation. Third confirmation is all these wick rejections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rejections to the upside. That's your next confirmation. Your final and your strongest confirmation would be this bearish engulfing. Why? Because you have 1, 2, 3 candles that could not close anywhere near here. They couldn't come down, and you have no bullish momentum that's pushing price above. The one time price was able to break this level, it closed right back down, and look how it closed, almost a doji. When you have candle bodies that are closing smaller than the wicks, like the wicks are basically like twice or 3 times the size of the actual candle body itself, that is a weak ass candle. That means whatever color that candle is, if it's a bullish or bearish candle, it's losing momentum, it's losing power. Okay, look at the red candles compared to the blue. This blue way smaller than this one. This blue way smaller than this one. Finally came down. What did this wick do? Come up and cause a giant retest. Tested the same level right here where price could not break. Right here.
Question.
1, 2, 3 times. What's your question?
And now you said to wait for the little drawback on the sells. Would you just say for the buys?
Sorry, say again?
Would you wait for that retest on the buys as well? Because I know you said it's for sells, but why not buys also?
No, you for buys as well.
Okay.
Buys as well. Yeah, for sure. You got to wait for buys as well. The rules don't change depending on which way the market is going. The rules do not change. Whatever I'm explaining to you here for sells, that's the same mantra you got to have for buys as well. Okay, same mantra. Now, your biggest confirmation, Chris, for stacking orders, and this is just me. This is my own thing that I do. I don't really teach this to my students. I don't really preach it, but those that want to see how I stack orders and where I stack them at, where my engulfings happen, I always wait for that engulfing. Soon as that next candle makes that bottom or top wick and it rejects, I'm jumping in. If it doesn't break a certain level, I'm jumping in. Okay. How do you know this? Okay. This is my little secret. It depends on how far down the next candle goes. Okay. For instance, I'll give you an example. On this example here on selling, why would I enter on these wicks here and then ride down to the break of this low here? I'm going to show you the one way that's risky and the next way that's a little bit safer. Okay. Because I don't want you entering orders on trades that's going the next other direction, and it flies, you end up, losing a bunch of money. Okay. Right. The first way super risky was the first way I taught you, this way. Okay. You let the candle form a top wick, and once you start seeing a certain level of rejection, then it starts breaking down, then you want to start entering. Look at where the wick goes relative to the previous candle. Okay. This candle was once bullish, right? It was blue at one point because it was pushing. It rejected right here. Where it rejects is very important. Okay, and this is
I was watching that. Yeah,
this is kind of
where the other books are at.
Right. Okay, this is kind of an advanced technique. It's going to take a little while to maybe understand it, but this is what I see, and it's how I trade. Okay, look at where this candle came. This candle came all the way up here, all the way, and tested this level right here. Did not break it did not break this candle, couldn't break that one, definitely didn't come up here. It just rejected and then came strong all the way down. Now, the first way that you can enter stacking orders and really maximize the trade is by entering at the first sign of rejection at the last level of resistance that was being tested. That's your first level. Your second way to enter orders, use this, is Once this candle, let's say you entered here, right? This candle pushed up, 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 up. You're like, damn, I'm in drawdown. I hope this thing comes down. It rejects at this level here and it starts whoop, 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 coming down. Soon as it starts, as soon as it breaks this low, don't wait. As soon as this low gets broken, start lining up on orders. Because
Right,
I'll
it's
tell you,
all the way back down.
yes, yes. There's
Yeah.
no way. It could happen, okay? But in my experience, ain't no way this shit is going to push up like this, push down, and push back up again. That only happens during news. News causes that type of volatility.
The concept is somewhat the same. And I kind of formed the same concept when I'm in drawdown. Like sometimes if you're in deep drawdown and you're like, oh shit, I hope I get back in the positive. Some cases you go back to the positive, more than likely, if it even touches break even, it's not going to go back positive. You might just close it and break or close to it. I've seen it so many times. Yeah. Very rarely are you in deep drawdown, you missed your stop loss by 2 or 3 pips and it goes straight to TP. It doesn't do that like that. It goes.
It doesn't. That's hoping and wishing. That's praying. That's trading off hopes and wishes. It doesn't work. Gotcha. As soon as you start seeing that rejection and that thing starts coming back down and breaking that same low that it broke before, that's what I'm doing.
You're stacking.
I'm stacking because this thing, baby, is coming down. It's coming down. Okay. So, but be careful on how many orders you stack because you never want to put your account at risk of hitting margin, your foot margin level. Because if this thing does start retracing, or let's say this candle comes up and it starts pushing, now you have 1, 2, 3, 4 orders that are struggling to stay, beneath your margin level, depending on how big your lot sizes are and how big your account size is. Right. So you always want to keep your risk in mind. Keep in mind to yourself, what am I going to do if the trade doesn't go my way? That's the first thing you want to think of when you're looking to stack orders. When you're looking to stack, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get out of this trade if this thing starts to wick up and go against me? Where's my stop loss going to be? Ask yourself, hey, these trades are in profit. These trades are in profit. This is pushing down. I've opened up a couple more orders. I'm trying to let it push. But know when you're going to get out of the trade. When you're going to get out, because your pip goal probably already got hit, right? You have 1, 2, couple orders, 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever, however many orders it is. More than likely, if this thing is pushing down like this, depending again on your lot size, right, you have a pretty good floating profit running on these trades on just this one candle. Right. Just this one candle. At the very least, you're not in drawdown in any of these candles, on any of these orders. All of these orders are in the blue. Okay. So then when this candle pushes down, you got all this in profit. Now it starts to wake up on you. Now you start getting nervous. You're like, shit, I had all this profit and now it's gone down a couple $100 because it wicked up. This candle, no wick at the top. It just dropped. Yeah. Okay. So the best way to stack orders is managing your risk. That's it. And try to enter all of your orders at the same place, around the same price if you can. Okay, let me do this. So if I'm looking to stack on this trade here, more than likely, let's say I entered at the break of low here. This kind of start breaking, this one rejected and it's pushing down. I'm probably doing this right here. This is what I'm doing right here. You know why? Right. Closer together your orders are, the less risk you're putting on your account. Why I say that? Because your stop loss is going to be relatively the same for all these. The further down you go, the bigger your stop loss is. You get me? Because if you take an order and let's say you open one down here, and one right here, your stop loss has to give the trade room to breathe. What if it wicks up a little bit, right? It needs room to breathe. It has to do its thing, going up and down and figuring out where it wants to go before it starts to come down. If these orders that you have open can't take the market doing this before it comes down, you have an issue. It's either your psychology that's not there, and your psychology is probably messed up because you have a lot of orders open and you're more than likely over leveraging. So stacking orders is more about psychology than anything else. But if you have a set area where you're like, I don't give a shit what this trade does. If it comes to this line right here, I'm getting out. And when you have in your mind, when the orders, if the candle comes back up here and knocks you out or comes close to it, already know what that number is. Don't let that number catch you by surprise.
No.
You open up 2 lots, 2 lot. You don't have 3 lots. You don't have 3 2 lots open. You have a 6 lot running.
Yeah.
Use your orders as one big ass lot size and do the math when it comes to your stop loss, because you can't control how much profit you're going to make. None of us know how far down the market is going to go, how far up it's going to go, how much it's going to rain. None of us know that. But the one thing you can control is how much you might lose. So you can control what your stop is, and you have that calculation in your mind. Stacking orders won't be an issue for you. Because if I say to myself, I'm willing to risk $2,000 to potentially make 8,000 or 10,000 or 12,000.
Right.
That 2,000 is already set. It's predetermined. I've already resigned myself to I might lose 2,000. But I'm okay with losing 2,000.
Yeah, you can be okay with it.
Because I see the probability of making double, triple, quadruple that amount on this trade setup. So the best way, Chris, to combat the psychology of stacking orders is solely to have a set number of loss in your mind.
And just be okay with it.
And be okay with it. Be okay with it. As soon as you hit that buy or sell button, already be okay with however the trade turns out. If I lose the trade, okay, I lost it. It is what it is. Come back to trade another day. But if I win the trade, guess what? It is what it is too. Because every trade we take, we think we're going to win. We don't never take a trade and think we're going to lose it.
Are you right about that?
Every time you hit that button, I can't wait till my TP get hit.
Yeah.
And no matter how many losses we've all taken, every time we take a trade, we had that tunnel vision. You see your confluences, you see your confirmations, you see your setup, you see the candles doing this, doing that. The only thing you see is that win in your mind. But you got to have that loss on the other side of your mind too, because that's also a possibility. You can have as many confirmations as you want, but the market can still do whatever it wants to do. So you got to be ready.
Me personally, I like putting a stop loss in because in recent times, when it's time for me to manually close, I'd be looking at like so praying and shit. I don't like doing that. So I like to put a stop loss in and just say, hey, listen, if my shit get hit. So when stacking, of course, I just have to put my stop loss in and have it predetermined how much I'm willing to lose. But of course, it'll be more than, usually like I'm doing 1% or 1 to 2%. So it would just have to equal up my percentage threshold pretty much, right? What I'm stacking, correct?
Well, whether you're stacking or not, you have to have a predetermined number in your mind of what you're willing to risk.
Okay, yeah. All right.
Knowing what your risk is has nothing to do with stacking. Risk is you gotta have your risk management on point no matter what you're doing.
Right. Okay.
So, and I tell my students this all the time. Already know how much you're willing to lose before you ever hit the buy or sell button. You should know what your risk is gonna be before you ever hit that button. And here's why. Because you see the setup right in front of you. You should know, you should be able to just look at your chart and say, this is where I need price to stay. If price breaks this area, it's not going my way, obviously. If it doesn't break and it stays over here, oh, okay, I'm in the clear. I'm in the clear. Things are going where I need it to go. This is all a part of having a plan, planning your trade. Planning your trade is also planning your risk versus your reward. As a scalper, it's difficult to do that because you're usually going for 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. So you don't have a lot of breathing room when it comes to that. But as you become better at calling your trades and you're seeing a lot more wins with your trades, your confidence goes up a little higher. As your confidence goes up, then you start seeing things you didn't see before. That
Right.
plays a major part in your setup, in your trading overall. Overall, it plays a major part. Okay. So planning your trade is okay. So we planned the trade out. We said, okay, if price stays below this area here, I know I need to continue looking for sells. If price doesn't, breaks above, I get a clean break above, I need to start looking for buys. So once you start looking for buys, your next plan should be, where's my TP going to be? Where's my first TP going to be at that I'm comfortable with? This is where having a pip goal or a profit goal comes into play. Okay.
Right.
My rule of thumb is 10 pips. I'm practicing catching more pips now. Okay. The best way to get your psychology in order for you to be able to hold your trades longer is to just leave runners. You have to. And in order to leave a runner, you got to do what? You got to stack. You got to have an extra order running in there. So the way I started doing it, go ahead.
So I'm sorry to cut you off. When you leave the runner, you mean like taking partials or just having an extra order in from stacking?
Either or.
Okay.
If you take a partial, technically you still have half an order running, so that's still an order. It's just a smaller order, a piece of the initial order. If you have another order running, it's just another order. Same thing. It's just the sizes of it is different. One is bigger, one is smaller. So taking partials is good. You could leave partials, but people that can't really hold their trades, it's one of two reasons. It's either psychology wise, and you think that if you hold it longer, it's going to reverse on you and you're going to lose profits. That's the first reason why they don't hold it. The second is they're kind of being greedy. They're not content with what they have. So they're trying to get more out of the market. And that's like a double-edged sword, because yes, it's difficult to exit a trade and see the trade continue on where you could have made more money. But what a lot of people don't realize with trading is that the market is always moving. It's always going to move. And the risk that you take with staying in a trade is risking whether or not it reverses on you. Right. That's the chance you're going to have to take when you're in a trade. How many times have you left your trade running, you've moved your stop loss and profit or break even, and then you watch the candle come back, take you out of the trade and turn around and go your way? It happens all the time. But had you taken profit where market was at one of its highs, you would have ended the trade with a lot more profit, but you didn't because you let it run. So you have to ask yourself, how good are you at catching continuations where the market can have enough breathing room to move and still go your way and you still be in the trade? Or are you better just taking your money and running? And that has nothing to do with trading. That's about you. That's understanding who you are. With me, every once in a while, I'll leave a runner, but most of the time I take my profit because I don't care to continue to be in the market. Here's why. First of all, I'm very impatient. I'm not a patient person. I like instant gratification. If I'm the type of person, I send you a text. If you answer the text 20 minutes later, I'm like low-key mad. Like, what was you doing that you couldn't answer this shit in time? You know what I'm saying? Now that's ridiculous, right? People got jobs, they got kids, they got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm over here like, so you just not gonna answer my text? Like, really? So when I'm in the market, I like to take my money and go, because I'm not trying to stick around to see what's gonna happen. I don't care. I already made my money for the day. That's where discipline comes into play. Having that goal in mind. If I came to the market, I woke up this morning and my goal was to make $1,000 and I'm up 2,500. I've already hit my goal. I hit my goal. Now, am I going to take my goal and be content with what the market gives me? Or am I going to be greedy and try to take more from the market? That's where you just have to be content with certain things. And that comes with money. It comes with a certain account size, because if you're only catching, $50 days, $100 days, whatever it is, and you're like, damn, I could make $500 a day, I could make $1,000 a day. All right, let me up this a little bit, let me up that a little bit, let me do this, let me do that. At one point, when you first started trading, you were okay with making $10 a day. You were okay with making $20 a day. Sure. You were okay with making 100. Now you want to make $1 million a day. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with wanting to level up your progress. the thing about it is you got to have a goal. You got to have a set like end game in mind. Don't just say I'm going to stay in the market until whatever happens. I don't even care what happens. I'm just going, whatever happens. You can't trade like that. Now you're gambling at that point. You got to have a plan in mind for what you're going to do. You're going to say to yourself, okay, my goal is to make $10,000 today. If I can make 10,000, I'll be happy. When you hit 10, you're like, man, maybe I can hit 10,500. Maybe I can hit 11,000. Oh shit, 12,000. And then you hit 20,000 and your ass still in the trade when you've doubled your goal.
Yeah, I feel you. Now, me personally, I know for a fact I ain't got that problem. Like, sometimes I'm like, okay, my goal for the day is to hit 2K, but I'm at 12, I'm at 1,200. I'm like, you know what? I took my 1,200. I'm done for the day. I'm okay. Or I always have that problem, with taking partials or just letting it hit TP. But I'm at the point now, I'm like, fuck it, let me take my partials because I'd rather just get something out of nothing, you know what I'm saying? So
that's from losses. That's from seeing your trade go to almost hitting TP and reversing on you enough times where you're tired of it.
I hate that shit.
Yeah, that's what that is. That's what that is all day long. All day long, that's what that is. That's you simply saying, damn, what if it doesn't hit? I'm going to give all this back to the market. Nah, I'm going to take what I can now.
So how would you combat that? I mean, from your opinion, you know what I'm saying? Or is it just
leave a runner? Start your trade out with your original order.
Okay.
2, right? And leave a runner and say, no matter what happens with this trade, I'm going to let this order do what it do. I'm going to let it do what it do. I'm not going to close partials on this. I'm not going to put, I'm not going to let that one run. Let it run and see what happens. And the more times you see that little baby runner, the little engine that could just chugging away, every day, every week, every month, you're going to start seeing little results. And then sooner than later, that's going to build up the confidence that you need to let your main orders continue to run too. Because you've seen it happen enough. You've seen like, damn, every time I leave this little 10.10 lot running, that thing runs up to the moon. How come my regular order can't do the same thing and get me my money? Right. The more you see that little 0.10, 0.50, 0.20 what lot, whatever baby lot you use, even if it's a standard or one lot, okay, fuck it, let it run. Let it run and see what it does. And the more one lots you see running a nice profit, you're gonna be like, all right, now I'm gonna open up a standard order, but I'm gonna open up another standard order and I'm gonna let those run too. I'm gonna close one of my orders out. Be content with what the market gives you, but let your runners do the work. That's why they're called the runners. They're the ones that do all the work for you. Let them take the beating of the market, go up and down and do whatever it needs to do until it does hit your TP, because eventually it will hit your TP. You just gotta let it give it enough room to breathe. Give it enough, what's the word I'm looking for? Because here's the thing, with baby runners, they don't take much from your account. You open in a small order. So you really don't care if you lose that order because it ain't shit. It might be a $5 order or something. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? So you don't really care. You can open up a 0.01, open it up on your account and just walk away from your phone for 3 days. You wouldn't care what that order did because it's so small. It's not going to have a big effect on your account. That's how you have to look at your runners. Let your runners do that work and let the runners build up the confidence. And that way you could gauge, because trading is all about collecting data. It's about collecting a track record of things that you see and things that have happened in front of you and how you could capitalize on it. So if you say every time I leave a runner running, and I enter over here or I enter over there, or I'll leave 1 or 2 over here, every time I put stops at break even, I get knocked out and then it flies. Every time I put my stop loss over here, it hits my stop and then it flies. So what do you have to do? Okay, for 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, open up a separate order that you don't give a fuck about and let that shit ride and see what it does. But don't just open it random. Open it the same as you would on your regular orders. On your regular orders, be content with what you get and have a plan, have a goal in mind. So if you say I'm opening up 1 standard and I'm leaving 1 runner, Once my standard lot hits 10 pips, you say 15, 20 pips, close it. Because now your main order's job is done. You hit your goal for the day. Now it's runner's time. It's runner up to now finish the work and get you the rest of that data that you're looking for. Because eventually you're not looking for the baby runners to get you money. You're looking for your main orders to get you that money because you want to hold your trades longer with the confidence that it's going to hit your TP.
So initially just start off small with the runners and then gradually.
With the runners and then gradually. And that's it's going to give you more data. If your runners are constantly getting stopped out, then you got to reevaluate your analysis. Because now you probably putting your break even or your stop loss too tight. You're not letting the trade breathe enough. Especially if you keep on seeing, damn, this shit knocked me out by 2 pips and then it went over here or it came over here or went over there. You're going to see things because don't just let the runner run and just forget about it. Come back to the chart and see what it's doing. See if it's still running. See if it's in profit. See if it hit your TP.
Yeah.
Because if it did, now you're like, oh, okay, damn. I trade New York session every time at 10 o'clock to 11:30. This is what happens to the market. Okay, so if I open my main orders around this time and I catch this move, instead of catching, a 15-minute candle or a 30-minute candle, I can now try to catch a 1-hour candle because I know every day at 10:30, this candle is going to fly. This pair is going to do this.
Mm-hmm.
So it helps you learn how to capitalize more on your main orders as well, because it teaches you conditions of the market, habits of the market, and things that it does. I don't just stack orders because I just see a setup playing out. I already have it in my mind that I've seen this happen a million times. I see volume coming in. I see certain confirmations that's giving me the signals that I need to say, hey, Charlene, you can capitalize on this order. I don't stack every day. I don't stack all the time. I might order into one order. Sometimes I reduce my lot size. Some people see me using 2 lots and they'll be like, damn, why you go from a 10 lot down to a 2 lot? Why you ain't open a 10 lot? It's all about risk. About risk. If I'm not confident about a setup, why on earth would I drop a 10 lot on it? Yeah. I have no idea where that trade might go. I see some confirmation. I'm not going to enter blindly. But if I'm not entirely confident, I'm not dropping a 10 lot on that thing. If you at the casino and you're not sure about something, you're not going to push all your chips to the middle of the table and say, I'm all in. Hell no. No. You're going to sit back and be like, here's a $10 chip. Let's see what happens. Whatever happens, happens. But if you're confident about it, then you're going to be like, shit, you're going to put your poker face on and you're going to be like, hey, what's up? Hey, all my chips, what's up? Watch everybody get up from the table and walk away. Mm-hmm. Because you're confident about it and you see certain things. You've already studied all the poker players at the table. You already know their tells. You already know who bullshitting and who really came to play. So when you see a certain deck, you're like, oh, okay, this is what I got in my hand right here. Okay, I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. I'm calling you out. And you ain't got shit. You got 2 duds in your hand, but you sitting up like you know what's up because you've studied the market. You studied your pair. You back tested the shit out of your pair. You know the session that you trade in, where you're supposed to look for certain confirmations. Oh, I see an engulfing happen. I see a bunch of rejections, high time frame rejection, resistance up here. Price is breaking down below. I see a little retest here. Boom, I'm lining up. Oh, what time is it? 9 o'clock in the morning. Oh shit, New York session. Volume is coming in. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. No reason at all. Now you just got to sit back. Okay, I'm about to lot up. Okay, I have, let's see, 5 lot running. I got 15 lots running. Okay, how much am I willing to risk on these 15 lot? Well, how much am I supposed to make on this trade? Oh, okay, I can make, let's say maybe 3,000. I want to make 3,000. So how much am I risking? How big is my stop about to be? If my stop needs to be bigger than I want it to be, I might not open 15 lots. I might open 2. I might open 2 5 lots instead of 3. Because now I'm like, oh man, you know what? My stop is a little bigger than I'd like it to be. That wick is big as fuck. You know what? I'm not gonna drop 3. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna put an order right here and an order right here. Right. And if this thing really start pushing, maybe I'll drop another order in there. But as soon as my goal, my mental goal, my $3,000 get hit, that's what I'm doing. Close.
So
With my laptop, going to live my life.
You know what? Yeah, it was crazy because I had came up with a little plan.
Mhm.
That kind of made me feel more comfortable. I mean, it kind of coincided with upping the risk a little bit, but not by much. And
That's what you should be doing. Up every time you raise your risk by a little bit, little increments.
yeah, like I'm 22%, and I'm saying, and then what I would do is kind of come up with a plan. Like, okay, if it gets to a certain percentage to my stop loss, I just cut some of that shit, and just cut some of my losses. But
Wait, before it hits your stop, you cut it?
yeah, like I would cut it. It's like, okay, this like it's getting close to my stop loss. You know, it ain't going the right way. Let me just cut some of that stuff. Not the whole thing now. I would like take partials out of that joint. You know what I'm saying? And then of course, if it's going my other way, where it's going in my favor, then I could like, implement, start stacking. You know what I'm saying? So doing the math on that, I'm like, you know what? In the long run, just hypothetical shit, it looks like, I'm cutting my losses and letting my winners ride. So I'm like, okay, that shit looks like I'm gonna try that shit.
Well,
And
that's
then
really good risk management for sure. If you cut your losses sooner than later, because you can always give your trade a second chance. You don't have to let it run in the deep ass drawdown, hoping it's gonna turn around. It's better to just cut it than to hope that it turns around and goes
right.
away. So
So I'm
that's
like,
really good risk management on your side, on your part.
yeah, I mean, I'm a very conservative person. Like, I could take some risks, but I'm not the balls deep type of nigga. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so I'm like, okay, shit. If I got a 15 pip stop loss, that shit gets like 12 pips. I'm like, man, just cut that shit. You feel me, or whatever. It's just, whatever. Or according to my strategy. But then again, now that I got the stacking, I'm gonna try some of that. I'm like, okay, now I needed a method to kind of make my wins heavy, because the problem I had was there were times where I'm like, okay, I'm trying to fight the part of me like, you know what? All right, just trust the process, just trust it. And I see that shit reversing against me. And I'm like, this motherfucker, this went from like 12 pips down to like 2-3. I'm like, fuck it. I don't want that shit to go back to negative. Before you know it, I got like a 2-pip profit. I'm like, the fuck did I just do? So what happened?
No, I was laughing when you said what the what the hell did you do?
But that shit happened to me. I'm like, come on, nigga, you should have, you know what I'm saying? So but what you just showed me, like, that's definitely gonna, like, okay, help me out with that. So I'm like, really gonna implement that starting after the holiday, because I know how, Monday, banks, all that good shit. So
Mhm.
right now I'm just chilling, probably gonna practice some demo shit and some personal, I mean, my small personal account.
Mhm.
And come Tuesday, I'm going back at it. And then of course, it's my first time training over the summer. Like, this shit was kind of bullshit for me. So I'm like, I don't know what the fuck was GJ and GU doing. Like, this shit was just like a sloth, in my opinion.
What's your main pairs? Are those your main pairs?
GJ, GU, and then I'm getting more familiar with US 30. I only did US 30 because I'm like, there's some times when GJ and G was consolidating.
Okay.
I'm like, I need something like a little side bitch. So it's in case,
And you chose US 30?
I needed an index. I was like, let me try US 30. But I tried not to, like, it's volatile as fuck. So I'm like, let me, I can handle it, but I don't like looking at it. You know what I'm saying? If that makes any kind of sense. I
What
can't,
you mean you don't like looking at it?
like, I'm the kind of person, like, I like to sit down my trade and then, well, I'm sorry. If it's US 30, I'll put in my trade and then I'll walk away from that shit. Put my stop loss, my TP, and I'm like, okay, because it's so volatile. I'm like, this motherfucker's driving me crazy.
Okay.
So I'm like, should I try to do NAS or SPX? But I like GJ and GU because to me, it's not too fast, it's not too slow either. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
So
here's my philosophy on that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Um,
okay.
if you eating just fine off of GJ, GU, and GA, if they choose to consolidate every once in a while, it's okay. It's okay to step away from the charts every once in a while. You don't have to trade every day. It's okay to take a breather. Like, all right, it's NFP week. These pairs are
Yeah.
just bugging out right now. We're gonna have to wait to see what happens. It also helps out with discipline, whether you know it or not. Being able to step away from the charts, being able to say, okay, I'm not seeing the setups I want. My pair is just playing around right now. I'm not seeing nothing. That is, believe it or not, it's a big help to your discipline. Because if you're able to say, all right, I've been looking at this for a couple of days, couple hours, whatever it is, and I'm not seeing the things I need to see for me to take a trade, then you have to say to yourself, it's not my time. I got to step away. If you're taking a bunch of L's, you're having a losing streak, you have to know when to step away. You have to know when it's your time to trade and when it's your time to sit on your hands. Because if you don't, you're going to end up losing a lot of money. NFP week is a big, like,
it's a motherfucker.
Yeah, it's that too. But it's a big money week, basically, for the charts, right? A lot of money is coming in the market. A lot of movement is coming in the market. All the pairs are going to be whacking or tripping out. People are going to make a lot of money. People are going to lose a lot of money. Like this week, NFP, I'm trading gold. And I don't even trade gold, but I want to trade it because I want for once to catch a good move on gold. You know, because gold just, oh man, gold just, gold used to be my bae. Gold used to be my baby. I used to eat off gold every day. Gold used to be my main pair, and I actually miss it. I miss it a lot because gold used to pay me. And then, you know, Corona hit and everything went to shit. All right.
I heard about it.
Yeah. So you have to look at it like, I don't really trade gold, but I know that I'm not good at it anymore. It's highly manipulated. You know, it's tough to trade that pair. So you think I'm gonna go to gold and drop a 10 lot on NFP? Hell no. No, I might drop a 0.50 or 1 lot. At the most, the most I would drop is maybe a 3 lot. That's probably the most I would drop on gold. And a 3 lot, to me, that's like a baby lot compared to what I do on currencies. I'm at 20 lots right now. To go to 3 lot, yeah, you have to, because gold is a whole different beast, whole different ball game. Currencies a 20 lot is $200 a pip. On gold, I don't even know what the math is on that shit. I know it's a lot more than that. So, and it's gonna be moving like crazy. But I know how to manage my risk. Trust me, when I enter that trade, I already know what I'm willing to lose. And I'm not trading it on my phone. I'm trading it on my MT5 on my laptop, on my computer. So if that shit goes crazy and I have slippage, let's say it slips my stop loss and it keeps riding, because that can happen too. I can hit that X button a million times until it closes that shit, so that I don't blow my account.
Right. So
you having calculated risk is everything. It's everything. And when it comes to stacking is super, super dangerous, because I don't really teach it, because you're adding risk to an already risky thing that you're doing. You're risking money on a setup, on a trading setup that you don't know if you're going to win or not.
Yeah.
So adding orders to something, especially adding orders to a loser, you know what I'm saying? That's another thing.
Hell no, I never did that shit. Crazy. Ooh, fuck no.
Right. But I'm saying in terms of like for instance, this example that I gave here. Let's say you entered right here and this thing started pushing up. Now you're looking at to take entry here. So for this wick rejection, for it to ride to the downside. You get me? Technically, you're adding to a loser because this trade is already in drawdown. Yeah. So if you add an order, you're adding to a loser. So again, you can add to it, but just know what you're willing to lose. If I say I'm risking $500 and I'm in drawdown on this order and I'm down $200, I can add another order, but I know that this order's stop loss is going to be a lot shorter than that order. Right. Both of these orders stops better not be bigger than 500. It can't be big, because 500 is all I was willing to risk on this trade. So if I take an entry here and I get into stop loss, into a drawdown here, and price is pushing, wicking me up right here, and I say, okay, I see a rejection here. I think price, I already have a clean bearish close. I think price is going to continue to come down. I'm going to add an order so that I can put myself in profit, so that by the time I get down here, I'm in nice profit and I can just close out very, very soon. So you have to ask yourself, okay, if this one is in drawdown up maybe 200, 300 here, if I open up another lot, first of all, that lot needs to be, if not the same size as the first order, it needs to be smaller.
Or smaller.
No, smaller, because if it's bigger, then this drawdown, if it keeps pushing up and it also goes into drawdown, it might take you way down into drawdown. You don't want that. You don't want to open up a 5 lot here and turn around and drop an 8 lot up here. All because you're thinking, hey, if price comes back down, I'm going to be in some nice profit. But what if it doesn't? What if it doesn't? Then you're going to be in way deeper drawdown on your second order than you were on your first. So now this order is fucking you up and it's fucking up the first order. And not only that, it makes your whatever amount that you had in your mind. So let's say it's 500, right? Let's say you opened up a 8 lot here and you start looking at drawdown. This one you were in drawdown 200. This one you're in drawdown, let's say 300. You've already hit your limit and you barely let this one breathe yet. So guess what? You're going to be, shit, I'm about to hit my stop loss. I'm closing out. Guess what happens after you close out? Drop.
Right. Yeah. Ooh.
It's going to drop. It's going to drop. And you're going to be like, damn, had I opened up a 2 lot or a 1 lot, my drawdown wouldn't have been that high. I probably would have held the order longer. And I probably would have ended up winning the trade.
Yeah.
So make it the same size order and keep your same amount in mind. Hey, at 500, I'm at 200, 300. All right, I got $200 more to risk on this order. So what's the lot size I need to use to make sure that if I go in a few pips drawdown, I don't get close to hitting my stop loss, to hitting my limit? Okay, hey, I got 3 lot down here. Well, you know what? I'm dropping a 2 lot or 1.5 lot. I'm making sure I'm keeping my risk low and my reward high. Always, 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 always. Risk low, reward high. Risk low, reward high. If I come here, I see all these rejections, high time frame levels, support, turn resistance, bearish candle. What am I doing? I'm dropping sells here. I got my stop loss right up here.
Gotcha.
Right up here, right? I'm going to pull my stop right here, right? Where's my next TP going to be? Oh, I have a little level down here, right? I can put my TP down here, right? I can put my TP right here. Okay. TP1. Risk low, reward high. Risk low, reward high.
You won't hit one though.
Always, 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 always. Hold on one second.
Oh, you good?
I'm so sorry. Are you at work?
Nah, I'm training somebody now. What's up?
Not you having another fake profile. Can they just feel like I'm hello, I'm your cousin?
Just block them. Just report it and block it for
So
me.
I was just making sure because I mean, damn, they got your most recent fucking pictures.
Yeah, I know. It's a whole bunch of them, but ain't nothing I can do about it. So nah, I ain't got no new profiles. I just have the one. That's it. I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you back though, all right, boo?
Yeah.
All right, bye. Sorry about that. So
got fans.
risk low, reward high. What you said?
No, I'm saying you got fans, so ain't nothing but you gotta worry about that.
This fake stuff it's getting on my last nerve, to be honest with you. But they just gonna keep coming. People keep falling for the okie doke. So ain't nothing I can do.
Okay.
So yeah, anytime, anytime. Be okay with the loss. Sometimes I'll take trades. I don't like really trading during like overnight and waking up in the morning. I never even really get a good sleep unless I know it's in profit or something like that. But once you're okay with whatever the loss is, if I say to myself, okay, I'm gonna put my stop here. I got a 7 pip stop and a potential 100 pip win here. If I say I'm taking 110 lot here, I'm taking 110 lot and I'm letting it ride. And if I lose this 10 lot, I could lose 1,000. I could lose $1,000 on this trade. But if it wins, I can make $10,000. So can you risk a 1,000 to make 10,000? Yes, most definitely. If you don't like those odds, then you shouldn't be a trader, because that's what you're going to be tasked with every day, calculating your risk versus your reward. That's the best way to do this. Like, people be asking, how do you pass, challenges and compound your account and stuff like that? It's all about risk and reward. You keep your risk low and you keep it at the right place. You get your analysis on point. You don't just enter reckless ass trades and just say whatever happens, happens. You do a real good analysis, break down the chart, and give yourself an idea of where you think the highest probability is going to be for where price wants to go. We're in an overall downtrend. What the hell are people doing looking for buys? We're in an overall downtrend. Price came up to this level 1, 2, 3, 4 times it rejected to break this level here. And we're on a 4-hour time frame. So for how many days? Days and days and days and days and days and days. Price cannot break this shit. Keeps coming down, creating higher lows, right? Creating higher lows right here, right? If we look here, right?
This might push
higher lows being created, but levels got to be broken first. You can create all the higher lows you want. You don't break high time frame levels, you ain't going nowhere. You're coming right on back down. So I would take sells here all day, simply because price is struggling to break this area. Price is struggling to break. Now, if it does break, hey, now I'm looking for clean buys, because price couldn't break. It finally does. And if it does break, what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to come up, test this last level of newfound support, and then finally do what? Push to the upside. So if I don't want to take buys here, where can I take buys? Oh, I don't know, maybe right there, right in this area right here. Because guess what? If price pushes up, it finds support, it respects support, and it comes back up and breaks this last high that it made, what's the next thing it needs to do? It needs to break another high. So guess what I'm gonna do? Guess how I'm gonna stack? Like this. That's how I'm gonna do. I'm gonna stack my orders. Guess why? What the hell? How many times I gotta hit this shit? Okay. I'm going to stack because the probability that price is going to break its previous high after it couldn't break all this shit, finally comes up and breaks, comes down and respects this newfound support, was once resistance, now holding as support, and finally find its way back up again. That is a high probability that price is going to continue bullish. Also, what do I have to my left? A nice clean move to the left, and my TP could be, oh, I don't know, right there.
Yeah.
So let's calculate, right? Let's see. If I have a bunch of buy stops here, 69 pips, where would my stop loss be? Right below, where's the thing here?
The last high. Right
below the last high, right around this area here. I give it a little bit of room to breathe, right? Yeah. So let's see. It's a 69 pip TP, 22 pip stop.
It's about 3-to-1 ratio.
Yeah. Risk versus reward. That's it. And what confirmations do you have for that? You already did your breakdown. You already did your breakdown already. You've already seen price can't break this area on the high time frame. If this candle comes bullish and starts breaking above, creates a high, comes down, finds support, and then pushes up again, man, listen, we gone. We gone. You waking up to nothing but straight blues. That's how you stack buy stop orders. Now you can take, impulse entries on stops, or you could take stop orders and stack also. And on here, same thing, risk versus reward.
Got you. Okay. Yeah, I had to adopt the retest method because I'm like, I see hate getting faked out and shit. So I was like, yeah, let me wait for that retest also.
Yeah.
But no, I don't doubt. I mean, that's very, very helpful. That was pretty much what, if for the most part, like, just really trying to find a good way to maximize those wins. But now that when you broke it down between breaking that last high,
yeah,
what I used to do was break and retest and find a nice bullish engulfing pattern on close to support. But like I said, there's no guarantee that's gonna break the that next high. But once it breaks the next high, then okay, that's even
that you're clear. You're good.
it's even better.
Yeah, it's way better. It's way if there was ever a time to stack, that's it.
Right.
That's
Because
it.
sometimes I would see, okay, I get the bullshit engulfing, but it doesn't go past that high and it comes right back down. I'm like, you motherfucker. So
That's why you put it right above it, because if it pushes right above it and it breaks all these highs, then you automatically have another engulfing.
right.
You have another engulfing automatically. It might wake up. It might wake up and play around depending on what session, it all depends. But for the most part, it's a very high confirmation if price breaks. If price breaks, more than likely it's going to continue. It's going to continue up. The odds of you getting a fake out to here, come down and fake and come up here and then come down, like where they do that at? To do this? Nah. It's not gonna do this, and then just tank. Like, what the hell? That's some manipulation type shit.
Yeah.
Like, nah, I don't see that happening. And if it does happen, guess what? Again, your reward, your risk was what you had already in mind. So you already resigned yourself to, hey, this is what I'm willing to risk. 22 pips on whatever lot size I was using. And this was my reward. That's what I've already risked. So even if that does happen, you've already said, this is what I'm willing to risk. So if you lose it, guess what? You're already okay with it.
Right.
You're already okay with it, because 7 out of 10 times you see that setup, it's going to play out in buys. Now, those 3 times that it plays out and it fucks up and goes into sells, some crazy ranging bullshit, okay, it might happen. But that's 3 times out of 7 times that that's going to happen.
I'm still okay with
So
that.
if you trade 7 days a week, 3 times out of that week, that setup is going to fuck up. All those other 7 times, those 7 wins are going to eat up those 3 losses every time.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every time. So your risk, your reward is always bigger than your risk. If it's not, then you're trading ass backwards.
Nah. Anything less than a one, like I don't know. I don't even fuck around 1-to-1s. 1-to-1s, I'm like, it's like I must have, for quarter.
Try to go for 1 to 3 sometimes, 1 to 2, 1 to 3. That's how you're able to catch bigger moves too, for that matter. Like, there's another way of stacking rather than adding orders. Just try to hold your trade a little longer, give it a try, give it a chance. Be okay with whatever happens.
Tomorrow I'm on it. Tomorrow, definitely.
Yeah.
Straight.
Yeah. Well, this week I'll be careful. This week we're gonna see a lot of ranging this week because of NFP. So this week may not be the best week to test it out. I would say wait till next week. Let NFP ride by. Next week we start nice and fresh.
Sounds good.
Because this week we're not. This week is a dud for the most part. It's not. You're not gonna see many setups this week until NFP passes. So
yeah, I hear a lot of people just waiting for the market to pick back up and go normal again.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we caught a couple setups this week, but for the most part, it's just I'm not even on the charts like right now. I ain't trading this week until Friday. Until I'm not trading gold. I'm only trading gold this Friday. That's it. And then Monday, come next week, Monday, we back at it. GJ and GU, I need all that. All the money I missed out on this week, I need all that next week. And so do you.
Yeah. No, I'm like I said, I know I'm on it. I know I'm gonna be good starting next week. Having these kind of conversations always helps my psychology out. You know what I'm saying? From your experience, are summers usually like this?
Are what?
Summers, like summer sessions. Are they usually like this?
Market conditions are always changing. So to be honest with you, I can't even really say. I don't. It's hard to remember what the market conditions are like every year. They always change whenever they feel like it. Only time I know the market be acting really crazy is during the holidays. Sometimes it's volatile, sometimes it's not. So during the holidays is when I really take it easy. But summertime, it really shouldn't be like that now. It should be popping right now. And it is for the most part. But I don't, with all the news that's been going on, Biden is running his mouth, and COVID is really, really messing with things. So it's just the news that's affecting, because you got to remember, these are pairs that are going at it with each other. These are currencies. Money runs the world. Money is everything in this world. So every country got its currency, and every country want to be the big dog on campus. So whenever, you know, things are happening in the world, it affects it. It affects it, either whether it be positive or negative. But our job, we don't care. We just trying to capitalize on whichever way it goes, you know? So there's gonna be a lot of fake outs, gonna be a lot of, you know, about like last night, right? I took a L on this last night because price broke bullish, broke above these highs right here. Like I think I had my chart like this on GU. And price made a high, made a low, and made a new high, right? Barely, right? But I have a bullish close above. This one broke up, came right on back down, pushed up again. I'm like, oh, this is going. This baby is going. And then what did it do? Whoop, came right back down. Yeah. And we just sitting in this little box. Come NFP, it's either gonna do this or it's gonna do this. You have no idea which way that thing going.
How big is
right
that
now?
It's about 50-some pips.
And right now, price is just pushing up, you know, creating lower highs or higher lows. So where we at right now? We tested this last level right here. If you look here, we tested this last level. So price made high, right? Boom, boom, boom. So bias should naturally be what? It should naturally be price to push up to make a new what? A new high.
Yeah.
And then if we look here, well, where would TP be? Well, I don't know, right about here, right around here. How many pips is that from here? 77 pips. 77 pips. But can it break to the downside and just completely engulf all this shit here? Yep.
Sure can.
First TP would be right around here. Second TP would be right around here. And news is not the best time to stack orders. I wouldn't stack shit during news. So don't ever do that.
No, I'm not doing that.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Not worth it at all. So.
Not doing that.
So do you have any more questions for me?
No, that's pretty much it. Definitely been more than helpful. I appreciate, you know, like I said, I'm not a part of live, but like I said, I just wanted to reach out to see if could shed some light, and I do appreciate all that.
Absolutely. Always here.
Big ups on that trading, that trade copy. That's genius shit.
Yeah.
When I get to that level, I promise you I'm doing the same shit.
Yeah, you should. You should. If you're a dope ass trader, hey, why not spread the wealth?
I was telling my boy, because he has his own signal room. I'm like, nigga, you need to do that shit. It's like, nah, I'm not training for other. I said, nigga, you're giving them signals anyway. Like,
exactly.
What's the problem?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If I could find a way to have an alert, so when you put some shit in, it alerts me to like, okay, boom, she puts a trade in, but I'll figure it out on MT5 or whatever. So
yeah, it's a task right now. It's kicking my butt every day. I literally had to create 200 demo accounts and I'm testing them all out. Different lot sizes, stop losses, TPs. It's a job right now, and it's taking a lot out of me. But once I get it working properly, working right, because I can't have this thing out here blowing people's accounts off mistakes and glitches. I can't. That's gonna hurt me. It's gonna hurt my brand. It's gonna just create a world of trouble for me, and I'm not on nothing like that. So this is solely out to help as many people as I can with it, and I need to make sure it's running properly. If it ain't running right, I'm not launching. I'm not starting nothing until it's working properly at all. I'm not rushing it. I'm not in any kind of rush and I'm like that. People are excited about it. They're anxious to get it going and everything. Some people are like, oh, you should just do signals because it's easier. You don't have to worry about setting this up and setting that up. But majority
harder.
Yeah, it's harder. And majority of my trades I take off market price. I don't have like, sell limit, buy limit. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I enter at market price. So I don't have time to be sending out signals for, hey, enter now and put stop loss here and put this. Majority of my stop losses are mental. Majority of my stops are mental stops. So my style of trade, that's why I told everybody, my style of trading is based off me. It's based off what I see. I'm aggressive. I know when to be conservative. I know when to cut my loss. I know when to stay out of the market. You know, I still use good risk management, but at the same time, I go for the gusto. That's why I've made as much as I have, because if you don't risk anything, you're not gonna make nothing. You can't be scared. Scared money don't make money. So you can't be afraid. So all those people that are afraid to execute, I'll do it for you now. I'm gonna do it for you. That's it. You scared to pull that trigger? I got you. Don't worry about it.
You know, it was crazy because, and you know, if depending on how you're trying to use that trade copy, if you're just trying to like, you know, help, you know, build your confidence or whatever, along, it can only work if you're actually like in the live trades and kind of seeing what she's seeing, things like that.
Yeah.
And but I've also when I was thinking about that shit, I'm like, you know what? I think a lot of traders, or professional traders, wouldn't even want to do that shit because it's gonna expose how really good they really are if they're even like their real deal.
Or how bad they really are.
Or that's what I'm saying. Yeah, like we may have some people that we thought it was like, you know, the GOAT, and they ain't not really what we think they is. I'm not gonna mention no name. There's one person out. I personally like. I was like, nah, nigga, you're not that person. That person. I've been in your signal room, and I see you know, stop loss getting slapped up like crazy.
Yeah.
But that also, and I lost my train of thought. But yeah, like I said, that trade copy shit is dope. I know that when I get to a certain level, I'm doing it for my family because I know they're gonna be on my ass about money and shit.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good opportunity. That's the way I look at it. And I'm big on transparency. I'm big on, like, you know, showing everything and showing people like, hey, it's what it is. I show losses. I show big losses. Yeah. I show it what it is. You know, it is because people need to know the reality of trading. Everybody's not out here winning every day. We are not out here winning every single day, every single trade, winning big 10 days, 20K days. And people thinking it's so easy. No, it's hard as hell to do that. So I think this would give me a lot more credibility in the market as well, because
it is.
Because people will see like, okay, these are the moves she's catching. This is what she's doing. This is how type of trader she is. This is the type of risk she takes. So with that, it's like, you can't be more transparent than that.
No, you can't. And I definitely want to say, like, my level of respect for you has grown more, especially when I see the video that you put out. This straight at me, like, hey, you know what? I did my FTMO journey. You know, I did good on this. I didn't do good on that part. Nobody else is putting out shit like that.
Nah.
And then, you know what I'm saying? And it's not like you had nothing to be ashamed about because you showed the screenshots about, you know, your profits. So it's not like you're not doing none. It's just, I think the bad thing about it, I think the good, it's a gift and a curse in terms of like, it's giving people the opportunity to get some bread. But the bad thing about that shit, like, it puts you on a strict timeline. Like,
yeah,
you don't get 30 days, you get 20 days.
Yeah.
All right. Not every day's a trading day and not every day's a winning day. So you really got to make certain shit count. That's for one.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I said, when I had my experience with that other signal room and niggas was getting stopped by like crazy, I'm gonna like, I knew something was wrong because when I see you on the ground, I'm like, hold up, we had a bad week this week. I got a couple red. I don't see no red on your screen, nigga. Wait. Well, what's going on here? wait, hold up.
Yeah.
That's when I had to do that shit. But my journey is I'm very grateful for it because it's forcing me to like really just do it organically. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with that, you know. So
it really shows the struggle. It really shows, you know, how hard you have to work to get to where you are. You know, I like even the people that are signing up for the trade copier, I let them know that, listen, because one person messaged me and was like, hey, I've never traded before. I don't really know nothing about Forex, but I want to do this. And I'm like, but why? You don't even know what this is. Why you want to do it? You know, but, I can make money, this and that. But no, you need to go look up what Forex is. You need to educate yourself on trading and the risks of trading and all of that. Because you're not gonna come in here and be thinking, oh, we took a loss today, I'm losing money, what the hell? Because you don't know what I'm doing. Learn what I'm doing and see what I see, then you'll understand it. So I need everybody to know that all those people that are signing up, hey, Y'all need to understand. And most of them do. Majority of them do. It's only one in a couple people that don't know what the hell they do. Or they just see money. They, oh, I want to jump on. But the rest of them, they have a good idea that, hey, every day not going to be a winning trade. Every trade now. If you out here just straight blowing accounts, taking like reckless ass trades, that's some crazy bullshit. That's some shit like, whoa, okay. But that's why I said I trade off what I see. I trade off my confirmations. I trade off my trading style. I'm not going off somebody else. I'm not going to be jumping in trade just because, oh, I didn't take a trade yesterday, so I got to take one today. No, I'm going to trade how I want to trade. And I'm going to close with trades where I want to close. Well, Charlene, why you close out when the trade flew 50 pips? Okay, then take it yourself. Trade by yourself. You don't have to trade like me. Trade by yourself. I was good with 10 pips, 15 pips, 100 pips, or 20 pips, whatever it is. I don't care where the market goes. The market is always going to move. It's going to move with or without us.
Yeah.
With or without us. So I'm pretty excited about it. I'm excited about it. And it's going to force me to be a lot more disciplined with my trades. Because there's times where because I have 4 different trading accounts on 3 different brokers. And sometimes I have fun. I'll be like, shit, I'm a full margin this shit. I'm gonna have fun with it, you know. But when I did the account flip, the 400 to the 6K, I had to force myself to be very disciplined with that. But that was to show people that, hey, if you are strict with your rules, right? And you don't even need that much money. You just stick to your rules and you be disciplined. This is what's possible with trading. That's what's possible with trading. And that FTMO thing, I got a surprise for a lot of people. That's coming for that. I got a surprise with that. I'm going to drop it in the next, I'm going to drop a video in the next like 2 weeks on it. But I got a big surprise for y'all with that. So
sounds successful. Good though. That's what's up.
Yeah, most definitely. So, but I'm glad we did this session. I'm glad you were able to learn a lot. I know I went through a lot of things on it, but you sound like you know what you're talking about. Based off the things you were telling me, you seem like, you know, you're pretty solid. You're pretty solid with your knowledge. So I think you're gonna go real far, real far.
I appreciate it. You know, just passed my 1-year anniversary in the game. So
Congrats. You're a veteran now. A lot of people don't make it that far.
So I've heard, but like I said, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not gonna, you know, say too much until I have something to show for it. When I can get my apartment in Las Olas, then I'm straight.
Are you in Miami?
I'm in Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
Oh wow, you right up the street from me. Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah, man. So,
well,
you're in Miami then?
Yeah, I'm in Miami. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
that's great.
When I can do that and I got something to show for it, then yeah. So,
okay.
But I'll definitely keep in touch or whatnot, and then you know what I'm saying, good luck on everything.
Most definitely. Hey, what's your nationality?
I'm Haitian.
Oh, okay. Not only are we neighbors, we're family.
Oh, so that means you know where the bun up is in.
I know about all that.
Yeah.
I know about all that.
All that.
Don't forget the pickles. Don't forget the pickles.
So that means your family gave you hell on earth when you talking about Forex.
That's why I didn't tell them about it.
You know, it's funny you said that. Oh God. But I got some good folks. So my mom, she's like, the fuck is this? She wants me to be a nurse. But my dad, he's in the stocks.
They want all of us to be nurses and doctors.
You know what the crazy thing is? I purposely failed the nursing test because I'm like, yeah, I'm like, this ain't for me. I'm like, I'm gonna do Forex. This was last December.
Really?
Yeah. And mind you, I was like, you know, going to nursing school, that kind of thing. Mind you, I'm a teacher. I'm a high school teacher. So,
okay.
You know, well, first of all, I hope you're not, you know, you don't have nobody else like waiting on it, but
no, you're good.
So basically, Corona hit. I'm thinking about becoming a nurse, but Corona hit. So that shit kind of threw my whole mind. I'm like, you know what, man, let me just wait a little bit. Taking the test. When my boy introduced me to Forex, I'm like, yo, nigga, this thing's, you know, the best thing since sliced bread. Of course, I'm nowhere near profitable, but I knew for a fact I'm gonna make it.
Yeah.
So at some point, I'm like, you know what, this shit ain't for me. This nursing shit ain't for me. I said I can make way more money doing this, living the life I want to live.
Yeah.
So going back to my parents, I kept that shit under wraps with my mom. So I'm like, I'm not telling you nothing.
That was smart move.
Yeah. And here is why, because I seen what she had said to my cousin. My cousin is a full-time stock options.
Okay. Wow.
Pretty deep, he's not making big bread, but he's doing right for himself. But the look she gave to him was like, that's what you're doing with your life? Yeah.
That's their favorite thing to say. That's what you want to do in your life.
What you want to go to school, baby?
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, so I already knew. I'm like, Mom, I ain't telling you shit. So
you already knew what time it was, where
you know what time it was, right? Now, mind you, I'm a grown ass man. I'm like, the fuck. But for my dad is way more understanding. So he's like, he sees me doing this shit every fucking day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm not studying, I'm back testing. And he's like, okay, stay with that shit. In about 5 to 10 years, you'll be on it. I'm like,
Damn.
5 to 10 years. I'm thinking maybe like a year or two, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe like 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
But but the fact was, like, I just said, I'm not telling y'all shit until I, when I pull up on my, when I trade out this Lexus and I get my range, then y'all see y'all see what's up.
With our culture and the way our family is, they gotta see it to believe it.
They do.
They don't want to hear about this and that. They don't understand. They don't care. They gotta see it to believe it.
They do not care, but they had to have tangible evidence. And I told my cousin that. I said, until you pull up with something, they don't believe it. And by then, it may be too late because the price still went up.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
that's how it was with my mom. My mom was the same way. When I first started telling her about it, that was like when I was kind of getting better at it. I wasn't the best yet, but I was getting better at it. She was like, and then when I told her I came out with a course and I had students, she was still like raising the eyebrow, like, what? You have this? Oh, you selling it for how much? People are buying it? Like, what? This and that. And then when I started having big days, then she started coming around. She was like,
can I host somebody, please?
Yeah. Yeah. It wasn't until I started showing it to her, and she didn't care about looking at my MC4, MC5. She wanted to see the withdrawals. She wanted to see the money in my account. And that's when I was like, okay, I got her. I got her now. And now she fully believes in it. She believes in me. She's telling everybody, and all her friends, oh, my daughter does FOREX. My daughter does this. She got this. She da. And every other day, she's asking me to take her to Louis Vuitton and all this other shit. And I got to take her there tomorrow for some shit. So it's like, but it's my mom is like, she's my biggest supporter. She's like my best friend, always has my back, always supports me, always been there for me. So, why not? Why not be a blessing to her like she was to me? You know what I'm saying? And that's the good thing about trading. It opens up so many doors. It gives you so many opportunities to go for things that you probably could never even dream about before. You know what I'm saying? It's truly, truly a blessing. It really is. So never, ever give up. If your mom and dad gotta, just know that they might not 100%, believe in it at first, but they want you to succeed. No matter what you do, they love us to death. They want us to succeed. They just care about us so much that they think they know what's best for us, even though we're adults, So they've been on this earth longer. They've seen certain things, and they want the best for us, but we just got to make them believe. And by making them believe, you got to let them see it. You got to let them see the fruits of your labor. You're right about that. Yeah. But you got your head on right. You're doing the things you have to do. I have no doubt that I'm gonna hear about you again. I'm gonna hear about you again, and I'm gonna be waiting.
I'm gonna send you a screenshot when I pass FTMO. So
okay, I'll be waiting for it. And you right up the street. So hey, drinks on me. Drinks on me.
Only down Julio shit. Watch.
I got you. All right, man. Well, have a good night, and let's talk again. All right.
I bet. Yeah.
All right. Have a good night.
Right.